Hello everybody, it's Kate from Katie Did. We are going back to where we started. We are at the Rockhounding fishing access in Miles City, Montana. And it has been fairly warm. So I thought that I would go and see what I could find as far as agates go. The beach itself looks like it's somewhat covered with ice and snow. I was hoping it would have melted off a little bit more than this, but I can still see some patches of rock, so let's go see what we can find. Lovely piece of jasper. I'll try to talk nice and loud because for some reason my microphone is not where it's supposed to have been. Anyway, this is what we are looking at as far as the river goes right now. I'm very surprised that the ice is up as high as it is because I don't feel like it's been that cold out. But it has been cold enough, I guess, to get below freezing, and that's what it takes. This is kind of cool because the rocks are all exposed. The big ones are not covered up with snow. This is a pretty jasper. Not pretty enough to take home, but it's pretty. I haven't spotted anything yet, but I'm not to the wider part of the beach yet either. So this is actually a different spot than I was the last time that I was here. This is probably what we call a near agate, but it does have a really nice example of the skin that you're looking for. But you can see that it's likely the interior of it, I see it's kind of broken there, is kind of milky, kind of crystalline. And that milkiness is what makes us throw them away. Just a piece of jasper, but it sure is pretty. Let's give it a home in the river. Or on the ice. This is not the standard shape of an agate, but I did a quick little spit test. Some people lick it, but I'm always like, ew, when you can spit on it, why would you lick it? But I guess that's what separates the men from the women or something. Anyway, it looks like there's something there. It looks fairly clear in the interior, even though this is a fairly square piece, rectangular piece. So I'm going to take it to a place where I can wash it off, see what I can find. I feel like this one might be frozen into the ground too, and I think this one might be worth digging out of there. Well, I'm very sorry to say that it is completely frozen in the ground, and without a tool of some kind, I'm not getting it out of there. I'm going to tell myself that it's not really an agate and I didn't want it anyway. This is a neat little piece of jasper. I think jasper. It's pretty. It's banded, sort of. It'll come home with me. One kind of cool thing about hunting on a beach with rocks that are covered with snow, except for just some, is that it makes you focus on the specifics. And it is a little easier not to get overwhelmed by all of the rocks and all of the things you must find and must look at, because you're limited. And while being limited in some ways can be frustrating, in this particular case, I find it kind of enjoyable. I hope you do too. Wish I could get to the water and wash some of these off. This one looks kind of promising. Very potato-y. This one also caught my eye. It's another square one. Isn't that interesting? Let's see if we can get some better light on that. Well, again, I'm not absolutely convinced that that's what we're looking for, but I don't have any water to wash it off with right now. Note to self, if you're hiking in the wintertime, bring a bottle of water with you, doofus. I read today that the largest Montana agate ever found was 63.5 pounds. I'm afraid I have quite a ways to go before I hit that particular margin. Yeah, this one's a milk agate. Oh, sad. This is not at all agate-y, probably more jaspery, but I wanted to show you the skin. I'm trying very hard not to haul home just a whole bunch of stuff that I really don't need to have. And this is not an agate, but it is, I guess you could easily call it a jasp agate. And it looks so pretty on the end there, despite the fact that it's a huge chunk. I'm taking it home anyway. Speaking of jasp agates, look at that. Ooh, pretty. Weird things here today. So this is, you see it's got these cool caves and caverns. No, what are they called? Like little indentations in it, and the nice skin on it. That's so interesting there. But you can see on this side, it's just a little too milky. Ah, it missed being an agate by that much. This is really fascinating. If anybody knows what this is, please let me know. I'm thinking some kind of coral, but you know, we're not really in the area for marine fossils. Huh. I was just thinking I hadn't found my petrified wood yet. And look at that. I love the pieces of petrified wood where you really can see the wood grain and you can imagine what this piece of wood must have looked like so very long ago. I turned this over just because it looked interesting from this side. You see it has that texture on it. When I turned it over, it's a big old chunk of petrified wood. Maybe agatized. I'll take it home and we'll see what it looks like. This is Kate from Katey Did. Keep on doing.